Okay, this is the beta test version number 2, Bridging the Gap with Bonnie Gross, speech pathologist from Toronto, and Ed Chin in Hong Kong. You are many things, Bonnie, but you are most recognized as the speech pathologist way back from 25 years ago when we do the show. That's what my audience knows about you. Some still remember you. So can you believe it?
I know, I'm very flattered. It's very good to know.
Right. Why don't we start with something with a lighter note, so to speak? You think of something concerning blessing someone, right? Let's start with that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Go
blessings
ahead.
are always good. Well, what made me think of it is what we're talking about idioms like we talked about last time. And that is certainly in North America, if somebody sneezes, we automatically say to that person, bless you. Do you do that too? Do you say bless you after someone sneezes?
I say it to my English speaking friends in Hong Kong.
I see.
But not to my Cantonese speaking friends in Hong Kong.
Interesting. What do you say when somebody in Cantonese? What do you say when somebody sneezes?
I don't say it in Cantonese. I just say bless you. I don't know how to say it in Cantonese.
No,
There's no such a thing.
Maybe that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Because I started to think about, does everybody say bless you? Obviously not. Or do we do? And so I was curious about two things. One is, how did we even start saying bless you? Where does it come from? It actually comes from in the 1800s, when there was a big plague, the Black Plague, where everybody was dying, or many people were dying just like today with coronavirus. Of course, we didn't have any vaccines then, so more people died and many people got sick. People in those days believed that if you sneeze, it was the first sign of the Black Plague and you're going to die. Wow. So they got into the habit of saying, God bless you, which means it made the evil spirits go out of your body. So when somebody sneezed, they would say, God bless you. And the evil spirits would go away and you wouldn't get sick from the plague. Right. So what's happened is that habit has been going on for over almost 200 years now, not just about coronavirus, but we always say, bless you. And that's where it comes from. And it's very important. And I think for your audience, for our audience, if you move from Hong Kong to North America and you sneeze and somebody says, bless you, like, you're wondering, like, what does it mean? Is this religious? Is this just an idiom? What do they mean, bless me? Well, it doesn't really mean that you're not going to get the coronavirus or the Black Plague. It just is it's an idiom. It's just something we say to each other, like, I hope you're okay. That's what it means. And so it's also polite for you to say to other people in North America only, after they sneeze, bless you.
Okay. So if people don't believe what we talk about, you can always Google it and find the history behind bless you, right?
Yes, that's how. Well, I found that out. And then I have a book that I bought a long time ago called Did You Know? And I don't remember the author, but if somebody emails me or texts me, I can tell you I'll look it up and I'll tell you the author. But the book is called Did You Know? And it has many, many interesting facts, and that was one of them. Yeah, that's where I got it.
English language, that there must be some sort of origination, especially some commonly used phrases, right?
Oh, that's one of them. That's a common one. We do it every day. Bless you.
Very common.
See? Bless you. Right.
Okay, so that's the light and note stuff, and let's get
the Black Plague. Light, right?
Yeah, very light, very light. So I promise. Everyone who listens to this program will learn something from it, instead of just listening to us talk, just to reminisce the good old days.
Yeah, we can do that too.
Yeah. Okay. So I recently wrote an article around 1,500 words long. I'm just gonna extract one particular long sentence, so to speak, right? I'm going to say it, and maybe Bonnie, you will say it next, see, how we pronounce it, and then you do your way of the North American way, the Midwest way. I'll do it.
So that gives me an opportunity to criticize you, right?
Sure, why not?
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, this is more political. Okay, it's about the Hong Kong democracy situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it, the Hong Kong way. I just wish that Hong Kong would not be cut off from the outside world abruptly. But with political changes, most of the time, there is no pre-warning. Indeed, Hong Kong is running out of time. One thing for sure, I know, is that Hong Kong is different now, and a new chapter on interrogation, harassment, and living in fear is being written every day. Kind of solemn, but...
it is solemn, and as it should be. It should be. Well, I think I would...
Can you do it the professional way? Like
I will.
Say it in a native,
I would suggest two main changes.
Yeah.
One is, particularly if you were speaking this to a North American audience,
right,
then to make it clearer, I would suggest a different pronunciation of the sounds and the sound L or L. Now, what's interesting about the sound is that it's not that you're wrong. You're not wrong, but you're doing it the British way. Okay, that's fine. In other words, in Britain, they would say, for example, the word pre-warning, warning, instead of warning. So there are many R's, especially in the middle of a word and the end of a word. In the British pronunciation of English, they omit the R. We don't in North America. We would say pre-warning, warning.
So more R.
More right.
Yeah.
Right. And so to be clearer in North American English, let me just give you some words from that. The outside world, world, and pre-warning, and one thing for sure, and living in fear. So we would really articulate the
You kind of roll the tongue a little bit more than the British way.
You roll the tip. Good for you. Yeah, you lift up the tip of the tongue to do So what I noticed about people who speak Cantonese, who then speak English, is that the is perfect at the beginning of the word. So it's just exactly the same sound. If you're doing perfectly at the beginning of a word, for example, okay, there isn't one here, but the word like run, road, rich, then you're already curling the tongue, you're already doing it correctly. You just need to use that same sound in other parts of the words, and it makes it clearer English for a North American audience. More
from the tongue, yeah.
Right. But it makes it clearer. The other one is the sound L. And this is not British, this is just something I've noticed with all my Cantonese speaking clients. When it's at the end of a word, for example, political changes, okay? Political, when it's at the end of a word, okay, here's the wrong way. Political, see how I put my lips around? That's not clear.
Yeah.
It's politica, I'll do it in the camera. Political, so it's the same L as it is at the beginning of a word. But somehow Cantonese speakers tend to make it round, political, at the end of a word, and we don't understand that. Yeah, we do not understand that. So political.
This is not the British way either.
No, it's not. It's just
it's just lazy.
It's just a habit.
Yeah.
Well, it probably has to do with the Cantonese language. Now, did I ever tell you about the time I tried to learn Cantonese? I'm sure I told you about it a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, let me just tell you a brief story, okay?
Sure.
I decided I can learn this language. So many of my clients speak Cantonese. So I decided to practice in restaurants. So I asked a client to tell me how to say...
In the restaurant or in the restroom? Sorry.
A good question. Restaurant. And I decided I would practice. There are many wonderful Cantonese restaurants in Toronto.
Of course.
So I decided I asked a client to tell me how to pronounce certain dishes that I like. Okay. And I went into restaurants and I tried to pronounce it. Yeah. And I thought, I'm a speech therapist. This is easy for me, right? Yeah. Nobody understood me. Nobody, until I tried 3, 4, 5 times.
Right.
So what I learned from that is when I listen to people speaking Cantonese and I watch the mouth, these habits like politico, it comes from the Cantonese language, one of the sounds that you have.
Yeah, and that's using certain muscles too, actually.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You don't
it's the way you use the muscles, right? So going back to this, by improving the L and the R, it's going to be much clearer to a North American speaking audience.
Okay. Should I do it one more time? See whether there's improvement.
Yes.
Make it short because we still got the third thing from 1 Corinthians. That's from the Bible. That will come next. Okay. Very quickly. I just wish that Hong Kong would not be cut off from the outside world abruptly. But with political changes, most of the time, there is no pre-warning. Indeed, Hong Kong is running out of time. One thing for sure, I know, is that Hong Kong is different now, and a new chapter on interrogation, harassment, and living in fear is being written every day.
That was great. That was great. R's were good, L's were good. Well, Ed, of course, I know your English is fantastic. It always has been. But those little changes or big changes made a big difference in me understanding you as a North American. Absolutely.
Okay. Can you try the first 3 verses of 1 Corinthians from the New Testament?
Sure.
Yeah.
All of them? All of them?
The first 3 verses.
Okay, tell me when to stop. Here I go.
Until I gain nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I speak in the tongues of men or of angels, but do not have love, I am only a resounding gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and can fathom all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have a faith that can move mountains, but do not have love, I am nothing. If I give all I possess to the poor and give over my body to hardship that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing.
Very good. I have no trouble understanding it.
Mm-hmm. So I think with something like this, it really depends on where you pause and which words you stress.
Yeah.
And that has to do with the meaning that you want to portray. And so, and this sometimes takes a little practice, but it's really worth it. Let's say somebody is giving a business presentation. You could, or you can, it works the same. In other words, you don't want to talk too fast. Where you stress, which words you stress, where you pause, it makes a big difference in the way people receive your message. Same as this. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I just realized where this phrase move mountains comes from, because we say it all the time. Oh, that person, he moves mountains. I didn't realize it came from this verse. Very interesting.
Yes, from the New Testament. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a beautiful phrase. 1 Corinthians is talking about love, the Christian love, agape love, unconditional love. Yeah.
Beautiful. Very beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so how about this, Ed? Try unconditional and get the L right at the end of the word.
Unconditional.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So the tongue should touch the back of the teeth, the top part, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Unconditional.
Yeah. Like that. You got it. Very good.
You gonna try some Cantonese?
No. Oh, I was going to. Okay, let's see. Let me try and remember. There's a dish that you have that I really love, and you have it at the Chinese New Year. And what it is a white rice crepe folded over with something crispy inside. And on top is like an interesting, delicious brown sauce. Okay, so I asked, not a sauce, but like a gravy kind of. And I asked this client, how do you say it in Cantonese? Okay, let me try and remember now. Okay, see, tell me if you understand me.
Okay.
Jia Leng. No, see?
I can understand
you understood it? Jia Leng.
The crispy dough wrapped with like a steam roll, right?
Yeah.
Jia Leng.
Oh, hey, you understood me. It only took me a few years to get that right.
Yeah,
Good. So Chinese New Year is coming up, right? So I can order it now.
Yeah, you don't have to wait until Chinese New Year. Jia Leng is like a steam roll with the crispy bun thing, right? Inside.
Yes, good.
With soy sauce. Yeah.
Delicious.
Pretty good.
I love your food. Okay.
Is that restaurant on Bloor and Bay, that Chinese restaurant still around?
No. I love that one.
We went there a few years ago.
Yes. They just moved a couple of blocks north. So we can still go there and they still have good dim sum.
Sounds good. So I hope the audience enjoy today's show. And if you have any question of sorts, you could look into our link, which you have to just look it up. I think you have to press on the arrow on the right hand side, so you will see our contact. But we try to do 2 or 3. This is the second beta test version, and then we will have another one, and then we'll decide what we will do next, right, Bonnie? Is that what
right. That's the plan. Yes, absolutely. We hope to reach all of you and be helpful. And so any suggestions, please tell Ed.